Ladies, let me tell you something. Men will treat you like a queen if you start treating yourself like one first. A man can only follow your lead. If you don't set the standard, he's going to take shortcuts. And trust me, men love shortcuts. See, a lot of women complain about how men don't treat them right, how they feel unappreciated, undervalued, and taken for granted. But the truth is, a man can only treat you the way you allow him to. If you don't establish your worth from the beginning, he's going to test the limits. That's just how men operate. A good man will meet your standards, but only if he knows what those standards are. I'm not talking about playing hard to get or pretending to be someone you're not. I'm talking about knowing your value and refusing to accept anything less than what you deserve. Because the way you carry yourself, the way you demand respect, and the way you respond to mistreatment set the tone for how a man will treat you. When a man sees that you respect yourself, he has no choice but to respect you too. If you're willing to put up with disrespect, inconsistency, or half-hearted effort, then that's exactly what you'll get. But when you make it clear that you will not tolerate anything below a certain standard, he'll either rise up to meet it or he'll step aside. And let me tell you, the right man will always step up. Men respect what you require. This is why some women get treated like queens, while others constantly feel like they're being played. It's not about luck, it's about what you demand. If you accept less, you'll get less. If you make excuses for his behavior, he'll keep doing it. If you let him get away with disrespect, he'll push the boundaries even further. But when you set a standard and stick to it, you send a message that you are not to be taken lightly. Some women think that setting high standards will scare a man away. And you know what? That's a good thing. If a man is intimidated by your standards, that means he was never willing to meet them in the first place. And why would you want a man like that? The right man will see your worth and rise to meet it. He won't run, he won't make excuses, and he won't try to manipulate you into lowering your expectations. He will step up because he knows that a woman like you is worth it. Now let's talk about self-respect, because this is where it all begins. If you don't respect yourself, how do you expect a man to respect you? Respect starts with how you carry yourself, how you talk about yourself, and how you let others treat you. Think about it. If you're always putting yourself down, saying things like, I don't think I'm good enough, or I'm lucky if a man even wants me, then that energy is going to attract the wrong kind of men. A man sees a woman who lacks confidence, and he knows he can manipulate her, play with her emotions, and treat her however he wants. But when you walk into a room with your head held high, knowing that you are worthy of love and respect, you automatically command a different level of attention. Men are drawn to women who value themselves. They admire women who know their worth, who don't tolerate nonsense, and who demand respect in every area of their lives. When you respect yourself, you set the standard for how others should treat you. But you don't have to beg for attention, chase after a man, or compromise your values just to keep someone around. You know that you're valuable, and the right man will see that too. This brings me to an important point. Never chase a man. Let him pursue you. A real man loves a challenge. He wants to earn your love, your trust, and your respect. But if you're out here chasing him, constantly calling, texting, and begging for his attention, you're giving away your power, you're handing over your crown, and queens don't chase, they attract. When a man truly wants you, he will put in the effort. He will show up consistently. He will prove his love through actions, not just words. But if you're the one doing all the work, if you're the one always reaching out, making plans, and trying to hold things together, then you need to stop and ask yourself, does this man really value me? A man's effort tells you everything you need to know. If he wants you, he'll call. If he values you, he'll make time. If he respects you, he'll show it in his actions. But if you're constantly wondering where you stand, if you feel like you have to convince him to love you, then you're wasting your time, because the right man won't leave you guessing. Ladies, I need you to understand something. A man will only treat you like a queen if you believe you are one. It starts with you. If you settle for less, you'll get less. If you demand more, you'll get more. It's that simple. So stop making excuses for bad behavior. Stop accepting half-hearted love. Stop thinking that you have to lower your standards just to keep a man around. The right man will see your worth, respect your boundaries, and treat you the way you deserve to be treated. But it all starts with how you see yourself. If you walk like a queen, talk like a queen, and think like a queen, then the right man will have no choice but to treat you like one. But if you act like anything less, then don't be surprised when you get treated that way. So from this day forward, start carrying yourself with confidence. Set your standards high and stick to them. Know your worth and never settle for less. And watch how the right man will rise up and treat you exactly the way you deserve. If you don't respect yourself, how do you expect a man to respect you? Respect starts with how you carry yourself, how you talk about yourself, and how you let others treat you. A man observes everything, even when he doesn't say it out loud. He notices how you respond to disrespect, how you handle yourself in tough situations, and how much value you place on yourself. If you treat yourself as an afterthought, he will too. But if you present yourself as a woman of high value, he will either step up and treat you accordingly or step aside because he knows he can't meet your standards. Self-respect is the foundation of how others treat you. It affects your posture, your tone, your boundaries, and your expectations. If you don't see yourself as valuable, you will find yourself in situations where you are constantly trying to prove your worth to a man who doesn't even deserve your time. Women who lack self-respect often tolerate mistreatment, thinking that if they just hold on a little longer, if they just love him a little harder, he will eventually see their value. But that's not how men work. A man does not suddenly wake up and decide to start treating you better. He treats you based on what you allow. If you let him get away with ignoring your calls, showing up late, disrespecting you, or not putting in the effort, he will continue to do so. Not because he's a bad person, but because you've shown him that there are no real consequences for mistreating you. But when you respect yourself, you send a different message. You show him that you are not afraid to walk away from what doesn't serve you. And this changes everything. When a man sees that you won't tolerate nonsense, he realizes that if he wants to be with you, he has to step up. Because he knows that if he doesn't, someone else will. Men understand competition. They know that a woman of value has options. They know that if they don't do right by you, another man will gladly take their place. This is why confidence is so powerful. When you walk into a room knowing your worth, it radiates from you. Men can sense it. They know you're different. And that's when they treat you differently. There's a big difference between a woman who is desperate for a man's attention and a woman who knows she deserves love and respect. The first one will accept breadcrumbs, tolerate disrespect, and stay in relationships that don't serve her. The second one will walk away from anything that doesn't align with her worth. And guess which one gets treated like a queen? Now, I know some women are afraid to set high standards because they think it will scare men away. But here's the truth. The wrong men will leave and the right one will stay. That's exactly what you want. You don't want a man who is looking for a woman he can control, manipulate, or take advantage of. You want a man who respects you, values you, and sees your worth. And let me be clear, setting high standards doesn't mean being rude, arrogant, or demanding. It simply means knowing what you deserve and refusing to settle for less. It means being kind but firm, loving but not naive, giving but not taken advantage of. When you operate from this place, you naturally attract the right kind of men while weeding out the wrong ones. Let's talk about boundaries because this is where a lot of women struggle. Boundaries are not about controlling a man. They are about protecting your peace, self-respect, and emotional well-being. When you have strong boundaries, you teach people how to treat you. If a man disrespects your boundaries and you let it slide, he learns that you don't really mean what you say. But if you stand firm, he realizes that you take yourself seriously. For example, if you tell a man that you don't tolerate lying, but then he lies to you and you forgive him without consequence, you've just shown him that your words don't mean much. He now knows that he can lie again, and you'll probably forgive. But if you set the boundary and enforce it, he'll think twice before disrespecting you. Boundaries are what separate women who get treated like queens from those who get treated like an option. A queen knows that she doesn't have to tolerate disrespect just to keep a man around. She knows that walking away from the wrong man makes space for the right one. And that's where true power lies. This leads me to an important truth. A queen doesn't chase a man, she attracts him. A real man loves a challenge. He wants to earn your love, your trust, and your respect, and your respect. But if you're out here chasing him, constantly calling, texting, and begging for his attention, you're giving away your power. You're handing over your crown. When a man truly wants you, he will put in the effort. He will show up consistently. He will prove his love through actions, not just words. If you're the one doing all the work, always reaching out, making plans, and trying to hold things together, you need to stop and ask yourself, does this man really value me? A man's effort tells you everything you need to know. If he wants you, he'll call. If he values you, he'll make time. If he respects you, he'll show it in his actions. But if you're constantly wondering where you stand, if you feel like you have to convince him to love you, then you're wasting your time, because the right man won't leave you guessing. A woman who knows her worth understands that love should not feel like a constant struggle. You shouldn't have to fight for attention, beg for commitment, or tolerate inconsistency. Love is not about proving your worth to someone. It's about being with someone who already sees it. Men are simple. They know what they want. And when a man sees a woman who respects herself, carries herself with confidence, and knows her value, he will either step up or step aside. The wrong man will try to break you down, make you feel like you have to work for his love, and manipulate you into accepting less than you deserve. But the right man will recognize your worth and treat you accordingly. So stop chasing. Stop begging for attention. Stop trying to prove yourself to a man who doesn't appreciate you. Instead, focus on being the best version of yourself. Walk in confidence. Set your standards. Respect yourself. And watch how the right man will rise to meet you. A queen doesn't settle for less than she deserves. She doesn't lower her standards for anyone. She knows that the right man will recognize her value, and the wrong one will remove himself from the equation. And that's exactly how it should be. If you want to be treated like a queen, you have to start acting like one. You have to carry yourself with grace, confidence, and self-respect. You have to set your standards and enforce them. You have to believe that you are worthy of the best and never settle for anything less. Because at the end of the day, men will treat you exactly how you allow them to. So set the standard, hold your head high, and never forget your worth. The right man will see it, honor it, and treat you the way you deserve. A queen doesn't chase a man, she attracts him. This truth separates women who command respect from those who constantly struggle for a man's attention. A real man loves a challenge. He wants to earn your love, your trust, and your respect. But if you're out here chasing him, constantly calling, texting, and begging for his time, you're giving away your power. You're handing over your crown. Think about it. Have you ever seen a queen running after anyone? No. She stands in her power, and people naturally come to her. The same applies to relationships. A woman who knows her worth doesn't have to beg for love. She doesn't have to convince a man to stay. She doesn't have to tolerate inconsistency, mixed signals, or half-hearted efforts. When a man truly wants you, he will put in the effort. He will call, text, and make time for you. He will be consistent. He will prioritize you. He will prove his love through actions, not just words. And if you're the one doing all the work, always initiating conversations, planning dates, and trying to keep the relationship alive, you need to stop and ask yourself, does this man truly value me? A man's effort tells you everything you need to know. If he wants you, he'll show up. If he values you, he'll respect your time. If he sees your worth, he'll never put you in a position where you have to question it. But if you're constantly wondering where you stand, if you feel like you have to convince him to love you, then you're wasting your time. Because the right man won't leave you guessing. Men respect what they have to work for. If you make yourself too available, too easy, or too desperate for his attention, he will take you for granted. Not because he's a bad person, but because that's human nature. We don't value things that come to us too easily. We appreciate what we have to put effort into. That's why confidence is key. A confident woman knows that she is a prize. She doesn't chase men because she understands that the right man will recognize her value. She doesn't over-explain herself, beg for attention, or lower her standards to keep a man around. She walks away from anything that doesn't align with her worth. And here's the truth. A man will only respect a woman who respects herself. If you let him get away with disrespect, he will continue to test your limits. If you tolerate inconsistency, he will keep giving you the bare minimum. But when a man sees that you are a woman of high value, he knows he has to step up. There is a big difference between a woman who is an option and a woman who is a priority. The first one settles for whatever attention a man gives her. She accepts last-minute plans, unanswered texts, and mixed signals. She convinces herself that if she just holds on a little longer, he will change. But the second one knows her worth. She refuses to entertain inconsistency. She doesn't settle for half love. She demands more through her actions, not her words. See, a queen's strength is in her silence. She doesn't beg, argue, or plead for attention. She simply removes herself from situations that don't serve her. She lets her absence speak louder than her words. And trust me, when a man realizes he's losing a woman of value, he will do everything in his power to keep her. But if he doesn't, if he lets you walk away without a fight, then he was never the right one for you. A man who truly wants you will move mountains to be with you. He won't risk losing you. He won't leave you wondering how he feels. He will make it clear through actions that you are his priority. The problem is too many women settle. They mistake potential for reality. They ignore red flags and believe that if they just love harder, the man will eventually see their worth. But here's the harsh truth. A man does not suddenly wake up and decide to treat you better. He treats you based on what you allow. So stop chasing. Stop begging for attention. Stop trying to prove yourself to a man who doesn't appreciate you. Instead, focus on being the best version of yourself. Work on your goals, build your confidence, set your standards, respect yourself, and watch how the right man will rise to meet you. A queen doesn't settle for less than she deserves. She doesn't lower her standards for anyone. She knows that the right man will recognize her value, and the wrong one will remove himself from the equation. And that's exactly how it should be. Because at the end of the day, men will treat you exactly how you allow them to. So set the standard, hold your head high, and never forget your worth. The right man will see it, honor it, and treat you the way you deserve.